Hi guys, it's Katie with Factory Direct Crafts, and today I'm going to show you how to make this photo wood transfer. What you're going to need for this project is a photo printed with a laser printer. You're going to need a wooden plaque, a pair of scissors, some Mod Podge, and a foam brush, and a cloth, and some water. So once you get all of your materials together, let's go ahead and get started. So the first step in this project is obviously printing your photos. One thing to keep in mind when you're printing them is if you have photos with text in them or photos with people in them that you want to keep looking exactly the same way, you'll need to reverse the image because whatever it looks like on the page, it's going to be the opposite of that when it gets transferred to your wood surface. So keep that in mind, and remember, really important to get these printed on regular paper, printer paper, but with a laser printer. So you'll probably need to go into an office supply store to get that done. Okay, so now I have mine, my images I want to transfer all printed out. So let's go ahead and let's transfer this image today. So I'm going to take my wood plaque, and you can use any different kind of shape you want, and you're going to place it over top of the part of the image that you want to transfer. And then I'm going to take a pencil and I'm going to trace all along the inner ledge. Okay, so once you've got that traced on, you're going to go ahead and cut that out. Okay, and let's see how this came out. Pretty good. Okay, so now the next step is applying Mod Podge to your image. So I've already done one this morning, this paper plate, and I'm just going to lay the image on it. And you want to apply your layer of Mod Podge directly to the surface. And you need a lot of Mod Podge. You want the image to be completely covered, so a nice thick white coat. And this part's a little scary because you're just covering your image with this white glue, but this is what is going to transfer the color onto your wood. Okay. Nice thick layer, and make sure it's even because that can affect the way the image transfers. So I'm getting it on all my corners and sides evenly. There we go, nice thick layer. So once you're done with that, go ahead, slide my fingers under here, and I'm going to put my image onto my wooden plaque. So I'm just going to lay it right on top, just like so. Okay, now the next step is removing air bubbles. So I'm using just an old gift card that I have, and you're just going to gently slide it along the surface, and this is going to get the paper nice and flat to the wood, and make sure that your transfer doesn't get missed in any places. There we go. And some Mod Podge might come out of the side. That's totally okay. There we go. Looks good. You can just run your finger along the ledge. Clean that up a bit. And now comes the hard part, which is waiting for 24 hours to let this cure and let the Mod Podge work its magic. So I'm going to go ahead, set this aside for 24 hours, and I'll check back with you guys then. So now my photo transfers have set overnight, and now comes the fun part, which is revealing the transferred image. So I have this cloth and a bowl of warm water. I'm going to go ahead and dip my cloth in there. Wring it out. Nice and damp. And now I'm going to go ahead and press it. Open it up a bit. I'm going to press it on top of my photo transfers. And I'm applying pressure to make sure that they get nice and damp. There we go. And I'm going to go ahead and let this set for 5 minutes. And then we will come back and start peeling away at the paper. So I've let this sit now for about 5 minutes. So let's go ahead and remove the towel. Oh yeah, that's looking good. Nice and damp. So I'm going to go ahead and lay then this towel underneath my tissue paper. And I'm going to use my hands to remove this. So I'm just going to go ahead and peel away what will come off easily. That top layer. As you can see, it kind of like separates from the image, which is exactly what we want to happen. Just like that. Okay. And now we're going to kind of use our hands like sandpaper to remove the more stubborn paper from our photo. So after this initial layer is off, I'm going to go ahead and wet my fingers and rub in circles. Now you want to be careful to not rub too hard, otherwise your image is going to come off, which that's not what we want. There we go. And do you see how easy that comes off and you're left with this gorgeous image? So I'm just going to continue applying water to my fingers and using a circular motion as if I was using sandpaper. Yeah, that was a nice clear transfer. That's exactly what we want, and that comes from using the right amount of Mod Podge. A little bit extra. Okay, and I'm just going to continue doing this until I'm happy with the clarity of my image. And once I get that initial coat off, we're going to go ahead and set it aside and let it dry for about 15-20 minutes. So once your wood is dry, we're going to go ahead and apply a coat of Mod Podge to the top. I'm going to use a gloss luster finish Mod Podge. It's going to give it a nice clean look. And I'm just going to dip my foam brush to the Mod Podge and apply a nice even layer over my image. Thin coats work best because then you're not going to get any big lumps of the Mod Podge that will cover up the image in a way we don't want to. Okay. I'm making sure my strokes with my foam brush are nice and even. And now let's go ahead and add some Mod Podge to this one as well. Again, nice even strokes. Now if this, if you decide after this dries that you want to add another coat, it's not quite shiny enough for you, you can go ahead and do that. Just make sure you wait an adequate amount of time for the Mod Podge to dry completely before adding coats. So I'm going to go ahead and let this dry, and then when it's finished, I will show you what my photo to wood transfer looks like.